So I bought some new wheels and I bought them off AliExpress. They're by Ryet, they're a wave design, 50mm deep, they weigh 1300 grams and they cost me £332. If you look at your Scopes, your Envies, your CRWs, all of those, you're looking at thousands. And I just can't afford that, and I know that there's plenty of you out there that can't either. But whilst we can't afford the top makes, surely we should be allowed to ride decent quality equipment. And that's part of the reason I've gone for these, is they look great and they tick all the boxes in all the latest designs. Rim width, external is 28mm, internal is 22mm, tubeless ready, come with straightforward pillar spokes, and they come with spares. If you ever damage them, you're going to be able to get replacements nice and easily. It's like, what's not to like? I don't know. I'll tell you what, I've chosen the windiest day ever to do this. If I survive this, it'll be a miracle. Whew. So just because I can't afford the top of the range wheels and bikes, does that mean I can't have something that's good? I don't think that's fair. And that's where my friend AliExpress gets involved. Once you start looking deeper into AliExpress, you'll find items that'll appeal. But unfortunately, there is that element of risk. You probably don't know someone that's had them before, or you've seen a scare story, questions on delivery, tariffs, etc., depending on where you live. The list goes on. So my plan was to stick to a trusted brand. So I was thinking I would go for some Elite wheels. The fact they sponsor GCN tells me that they're decent quality, and they have been around for a number of years now. However, as I've been buying various parts for my last 3 bikes on AliExpress, I've got used to a few brands which I have started to trust. And as I scrolled down, I stumbled across these little beauties. They're from Ryet, and at the time, they were showing a price at £332. Now I want to caveat everything I say during this video with the fact that I'm making no commission based on this video. My intention in this video is purely to give you the confidence either to buy them or just keep on scrolling and find another choice. I'm not a mechanic. I don't know carbon very well. I can't tell you about any of that. All I can tell you about is my experience. So the wheels are 15mm deep wave design. So they range from 50mm deep to about 45mm deep. And to be honest, I think they look great. When they did arrive, they unfortunately arrived damaged. Now I don't think it's Ryet's fault or AliExpress's fault. I think it's just a luck of the draw with the shipping. They came really well packaged. There was plenty of padding in the boxes. Both wheels came in a nice little sleeve, and there was plastic caps covering the hubs. Unfortunately, been a clear impact on the side of the box, and that had damaged one of the spokes. However, they did come with 3 spare spokes and nipples. So whilst that was frustrating, it was quick and easy to get that fixed by a bike mechanic. So it's a Thursday today, and I've just got a small amount of time. So I thought I'd head out on the bike, record this video, and test out the wheels. It's my second ride on them. I did a 40-mile ride on the weekend just to try them out, and they seem really good. Obviously it's really early days, but in a minute, I'm quite impressed. So as I say with the weight, I've managed to reduce the weight of my bike by 400 grams. And that's at a cost of 330 quid. Which when you think about bike frames, etc. and components, when you go through the ranges of them, that's actually really good value. Granted, if these wheels disintegrate and I die, that might not be great value, but let's hope for the positive. As with most of the wheels coming out of China at the minute, it's a 36 tooth ratchet system. Seems absolutely fine to me so far. They're steel spokes, used pillar, which is one of the most commonly used spokes in the game right now. So that gives you a reassurance that these are actually half decent quality wheels. Yeah, I'm not picking a fight with a tractor. So that leads me to another point. My previous wheels, the free hub was so loud and high pitched, which at first I loved and made me feel really fast. But as I ride through the country and you get horse riders, etc., I started to get a little bit of conflict with people because the noise, the high pitched noise, was actually scaring the animals. And I started to become a bit self-conscious with it. And so as I came closer to animals, I was trying to keep on pedaling to not have the free hub noise come out, which isn't ideal when you try to slow down. So I'd be pedaling and holding my brakes at the same time because I just didn't want the conflict and I didn't want to have anyone hurt. But these wheels, whilst it's not the most satisfying of noises, I feel a lot more comfortable just rolling on these. I don't feel so self-conscious of the high-pitched squeal that the previous ones were giving me. So if you scroll onto their page on AliExpress, it'll tell you that they've wind tunnel tested these wheels and that they're the fastest around. Now there's no data whatsoever provided to back up that claim. Quite a bold statement to state. However, that's what they put. I mean, I've not bought them because they're the fastest around, and I'm pretty sure if you had the choice of having some scopes or having these, you're probably going to go for the scopes. But that's the claim. You guys okay me coming round? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So on AliExpress, it will say that it comes with tubeless tape and tubeless valves, as well as 3 spare spokes and nipples. I got the nipples and I got the spokes. I didn't get any tape and I didn't get any valves. Setting them up was a doddle. Put 2 layers of tape around them, put the tyres on, it's sealed straight away. Got no concerns whatsoever about that. So when we look at the good points, I'd say definitely, clearly the price, especially when I paid £332 for them. And I would say, with the way AliExpress works, if you were going to buy these, hang fire for a sale, I'm sure they'll drop to that price again. Another good point is the weight. 1,300 grams for a set of carbon wheels, 50mm deep. That's not too bad, especially for the budget I'm in. And as I say, I've lowered the weight of my bike by 400 grams, and I can feel that. That is a noticeable difference. In terms of negatives, first thing is, I don't like the encourage, inspire words that are written on the wheel. I do find with the Chinese products, particularly in the cycling clothing, they like to write English words on them. And whilst they're lovely words, I don't want them on my equipment or my clothing. So ideally I wouldn't have that on there. However, it's not in your face. And other than that, I actually do quite like the blue that goes on them. And I think they're nice looking wheels. Another negative is the fact that mine arrived damaged. However, I don't think it was their fault. There was a lot of protective packaging in there. And I just think I was unfortunate. A general dislike is this unknown aspect of delivery with AliExpress. The fact that you can have free delivery, but then there's also this preferred method, which costs around £70 for a lot of items. And they say it'll guarantee no tariffs are paid in advance, you'll get it nice and quick, etc, etc. I said no, and I was told I'd be waiting about 3 months. But I got my items in 3 weeks with no additional tariffs to pay. So I'm a little bit confused as to whether that's a genuine thing, and I know it's not purely Ryet, or whether that's a little bit of a scam. One thing that does make me a little bit uncomfortable about these wheels is there isn't a little hole in the side rim anywhere. I think Trace Velo publicised an issue with a Ryet wheel where it exploded. A part of the concern was the fact that there wasn't a hole to let any air out if it was to get inside. I don't really understand that sort of thing. I don't know quite whether I'm at risk or not, but it's something I'll pay attention to, and ideally I would have had a little hole in the side. I think for most of us, my biggest concern is really how long are these wheels going to last for? Are they built to last, or are they going to disintegrate after a year's worth of riding? I don't know, but I'll keep you posted as and when anything is to happen. But at the same time, for 300 quid, if they last me a couple of years, I'm actually quite content with that. And on that note, these wheels come with a 3-year warranty. They also come with crash replacement offer, which I think is about 50% off, although you will have to pay for your shipping, etc. But I do think that gives you a little bit of confidence that they think that these wheels will last you. But personally, I think that any business that's offering you a 3-year warranty, that tells me that they expect their product to last longer than that length of time. So that's nice and reassuring. So thanks for watching this video. If any of you do have any questions about these wheels in particular, feel free to chuck them in a comment and I'll do my best. I had the caveat again. Firstly, I'm not a bike mechanic. I'm not a carbon fibre engineer. I can't vouch for any of that. All I can vouch for is the fact that I've been cycling for a number of years and I know what feels good and what doesn't. And then the second little caveat is I've got no motivation for you to buy these or not buy these wheels. It doesn't impact me in any way. I've not got any commission. There's no affiliate links or anything like that. It's purely I've bought them and it'd be nice if I can help anyone else that's considering whether to buy them or not, because there wasn't much information available online. So again, thanks for joining me today. Take care, enjoy your riding, and I'll see you again all real soon. Bye.